welcome back. So where was I? Oh yeah, I was pulling this big motherfucker along and it's been a pest. So yeah, first things first, we will recover this to the garage. I mean, this should have more enough power to drag that thing along, but apparently it doesn't. Yeah, repair parts, wheels, fuel tank. Nah. We'll leave it as it is. We'll just use... Where's the big E-type? Yep. Deploy that. Got his roof rack, he has repair parts and a fuel tank. We should be able to get some stuff done to it, enough to start dragging it. And you can get fuel for it. Yeah, that should be, if I put the maintenance frame onto it, between the two of them, they should be able to get the thing fucking moving. It hasn't got any spare wheels on it, but I should have enough spare wheels to actually get it moving. Right. Down this away. I really hate having to do this. I'm at the point where I am just thinking, fuck it. At the end of this record session, if nothing's improved, I am just going to be fucking off. Without getting a flying fuck, I will just go away and leave this game. And I'll put something new in the channel. Because that's the way this game makes me feel. It's not set up for people who want to play casually. It's set up for the long haul. It is set up purely for players who are going to be here until the end of time. They really do not give a fuck for players. They really do not give a fuck for the players. Is all I can say. Or rather, they don't give a fuck for the bulk of the players, they only give a fuck for the hardcore players. I could get it if there was like the main story missions were completable by any truck, really, you had, and the more you progress in the story, the more you would need on your truck to get the missions done. Like more power in an engine, things like that. But you can only find new engines by exploring. Most of the engines you can't get unless you explore. No, Tega. Okay, the suspension's fucked a bit, the gearbox is still fucked, but overall, it is... There we go. Now we get the rescue truck going. We'll use this to drag the fucker all the way back. Because this thing's far more powerful than my Fleet Star is. But as I mean, the Fleet Star and the Chevrolet truck should be able to do all the story missions for you. It might take a little bit of finagling around. It might take occasionally using 2 trucks to do it. But they shouldn't have any issues. But that big fucking maintenance trailer it would not be able to get pulled by the Fleet Star. Even at its maximum power, the Fleet Star cannot pull that thing. And this Tega, it should be pullable by this, or pullable by the Fleet Star. It's not. They really do not give a fuck for the players. They just want long haul players. Players who buy the game and keep playing, and then buy all their DLCs. Yeah, see, the thing's not giving a fuck for the terrain. And this is like a paid DLC vehicle. Whereas the Fleet Star is having trouble with this terrain. I don't feel it's right. The Fleet Star shouldn't... Well, it should have trouble at the beginning. There should be places at the beginning where it causes trouble, but later on you can easily pass over. That is fine, okay? But there is parts where you cannot complete the mission because the trailer itself is just so heavy that the Fleet Star can't pull it through the mud. And you have literally no choice but to go through the deep mud to get to where you want to go, because there is nowhere in the game that you can go that does not involve the deep mud. Now it's turned on and fueled up, it can actually go where it wants to go. And it's using some fuel as I drive along, that's fine. And when we get back, I can take the trailer back on the Fleet Star, come out, repair it fully, and we're away. But it'll drive itself down here. I'll refuel it from the Tega from the Capture, is it? Yeah, the Capture. E-Type. This is the E-Type from Spin Tires. Except it doesn't have the big train on the back of it. The E-Type does. It's still the same fucking vehicle. Yeah, see, actually, I have no bother doing that. But for whatever reason, decided, no, fuck you, you're not allowed to do that. We're going to just put deep mud everywhere, and we're going to say this truck is dead and can't be dragged. Right, we'll get it back to the garage, and then, yeah. First, retain you, and then let's find out where we have to take you after we fully repair you. Now let's just see what this Tega is like. Diffs are always on, all-wheel drive's always on. That's interesting. That's in Tamer somewhere. Oh, it is fucking powerful power to weight at that point. Okay, I can deal with that. An off-road gearbox is always good for me. Tamer is a straight suspension. I'd need that to put on the chain tires I'd want. I still need 2 levels to put chain tires on. Okay. A high power medium winch. Okay. Spare wheel. Snorkel. And it can do a lot in that way. A self-loading crane. Okay. You take the sideboard, you take a flatbed. Okay. I can take a heavy crane. Right, okay, fair enough. It's got a few things that it can do. But first of all, if it wants to be one of our trucks... Right, we have a Tega now. Then you... put your flatbed back on. Right, now it should be able to rescue this small truck without an issue. And that looks like a truck for us. And the question is it going this way or going that way is going to be better? Because this looks like it's going to be all dirt roads down there. Yeah, there's this one down here. But no, we want to go back and... Yeah. We need that for the mission. And we want to finish off Michigan at least. And we got the White Western Star, didn't we? Yeah. Truck storage, put my Fleet Star out. It pisses me off to no end. The game does this to you. It forces you into the situation where you can't do things. Right. Right. Harbour delivery. Okay, deliver to the port. Drilling equipment. Complete instruments of development. Instruments of development. Lumber mill revival and power lines. We can do lumber mill revival. And we can do power lines. Deliver metal beams to the fallen pole on Island Lake. Okay. I can get metal beams from there. Yeah. No, from there. Island Lake. Fallen pole, fallen pole, fallen pole. And there's a trailer there with metal beams on it. Okay, so this is going to be one of those annoying ones. And to get over there, I'll probably need a bridge. And a car in there needs to be recovered. And there's the entrance to Drummond Island. But there's no metal beams anywhere there. So where do I get metal beams from? The warehouse. Or town storage. Oh, the joys. I'm going to have to go all the way back there. Get metal beams. Come all the way back. And I can pick up some wooden planks. Like, I can take a trailer, pick up wooden planks from there, build the fucking bridges. As I go. Get deliver steel beams, deliver wooden planks. Go back. Get metal beams and metal beams. And then I can take metal beams there and metal beams to there. That could work. Or can we customize this thing yet? Can't make it raised, but we can at least. Can't get that. Could get that. That would make it easier to go with all this shit. Can't get engaged with all-wheel drive until I explore Kola Peninsula. Yeah, so we're better off with. Where did I put my fleet star? I deployed my fleet star somewhere. There's nothing in that garage. Oh, did I put it outside? Yeah, the fleet star is there. Should have a trailer around here somewhere, I think it is. There we go. We'll see how I feel at the end of this record session, whether I continue playing this or not. Because it 100% feels like the game developers do not give a fuck for the player. They only want the hardcore players who keep buying DLCs from them. They don't want the players who will just casually play the game. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with putting things in for the hardcore players, but when you balance the entire fucking game around a hardcore player rather than the casual player, then that's where the issues start. I swear the water's getting lower. Yeah, so metal beams and wooden planks first, and then 2 sets of metal beams. I did go the right way, did I? Yes. We take the sharp right here. No, we could go sharp right if we wanted to. But we're going to follow the road down to there, back to town, get metal beams, drive down here, get the wooden planks, and then we'll be out on our way. Now, a little fleet star shouldn't have a fleet star. It shouldn't have any issues getting down there or getting back. Yeah. But yeah, there's some really bad compression issues here. As I said, it actually feels like it's balanced around people being long-term players. Which is probably the worst thing you could possibly do to your player base. Because if you balance it for casual players and then add in extras for the long-term players, then you're appealing to both bases and you might actually gain more long-term players. Something that Skyrim suffers from is, yes, it's nice that they put in things for longer-term players. They actually did it a fairly decent way in Skyrim. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's better than it is here, is all I'm saying. It's better than it is here. As they have the Radiant quests for longer term players that gives them something to do all the time. And they have the main quest, which unfortunately is too casual friendly. Because they made it leveled quests. Like the quests themselves are leveled to the player, which I said is too casual friendly. The main quest should be leveled, as in set levels for them, but that's the problem. People are like, oh, it's not hard enough. It wasn't meant to be fucking hard. I over-leveled myself doing all the side missions, and now nothing's hard. Nobody told you to do all the side missions. That's why their side missions are optional. You do side missions to level up. I had to do the thing. There were side missions I did, and they made the game. Yes, you did side missions. Side missions. You're meant to do side missions to get over leveled. That is the idea. If you don't want to be over leveled, don't do side missions. A game should be balanced around the concept of the player going through the main mission without doing any side missions. If you do side missions, it's your own fault if you find the game too easy at that point. Oh, for fuck's sake, this fucking suspension! I personally feel that the lower suspension does wonders for the truck. Raised suspension raises the actual centre of mass. Yes, that is true. That makes the truck easier to tip when it goes sideways. However, it doesn't make it into a fucking bouncy castle. And that is one of the big problems that these developers are suffering from. They don't actually know how things work somehow. They believe they do. There we go. The problem is how am I going to get to where I want to go? This thing's doing not too bad. It's pulling those planks up this hill with the steel beams. Yeah, so anyway, a main mission should be completable by the player by completing the main missions in order, and they'll just be slightly under-leveled by the time we get to the end. If that is the case, that you've done your scaling correctly. However, Skyrim is just everything is leveled to you. There literally is no challenge. You can walk into any cave you see at the start of the game and feel in no fear whatsoever of failure. Now, this is the one that's in the south end of the map tunnel to go to the Island Lakes. So that means I'll be going by the fuel station anyway. So there's no point in going to the fuel station to my left when I can just go to one as I go through the tunnel. And the thing is, this actually feels better for responsiveness with all the weight on it than it does with the fucking no weight on it. Which isn't right. When it's lighter, it should brake easier and it should turn easier. The weight is what gives it momentum. It carries it into a corner rather than going around the corner. I.e. causes you to corner bomb like a fucking madman. Yeah, see, this is fine. I'm going through deep mud and I have to go to low gear to get through. I'm carrying all this weight. Hunky dory. There's actually no problem with that whatsoever here. Although the gearbox is just funky as shit. I don't understand this high, low, neutral, reverse. You should just have a gearbox. And maybe I'm missing something in my settings here. But I want to control it through gears, not through high and low. I want the actual gear numbers on there to let me pick between them. I want to say I want in gear 1, I want in gear 2. Not I'm in low or high or normal. And that's only possible if you have a gear shifter and you set up your fucking steering wheel right, which is another issue. They cater to steering wheel users more than they do. Well, don't get me wrong, having things in for steering wheel users is fine, but when you make it so the steering wheel users are the only ones who can access the gearbox properly instead of this shit down there, which is high, low, neutral and reverse. No, that's not right. I should be able to choose my gears between 1, 2, 3 and 4. Or 5 and 6, depending on how many gears the truck gets. And it should be 1, 2, 3, 4 as well, but we'll leave it at 1, 2, 3 and 4, okay? I don't want to get into that shit. I don't mind if it's not immersive, if it's only 4 gears. That's hunky dory. But the fact I can't control it is what bugs me. Again, this comes back to my whole issue that this game is a big fucking railroad. I am not controlling this truck, essentially. I am just holding the accelerator button and the game is telling me what everything else to do. Exactly what it wants me to do, rather than giving the player agency over what they do. You could say, oh, you're free to do this and that. No, 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 no. You're forced to do all the side stuff to survive. Anyway, I'll see you all next